200, Mohamed Salah. I tweeted immediately afterwards, but not immediately, like a minute once I calmed down afterwards. Not the way he probably envisaged his 200th Liverpool goal to go in, but they all count all the same. Now, in terms of the goal,
it might not though.
Well, I think it does. I think it's all right. Yeah, it's all good.
If it's off target, it's not.
It's
so
not.
We'll
No.
be checking that.
It's a major deflection, to be fair, but I think it's on target. But moreover, we touched on it a moment ago. The combination between Gomez and Gakpo is brilliant. The cross from Gakpo is brilliant. It's kept alive. Jones then lays it into Salah's path. Jones gets absolutely wiped out there after. So it's a nailed-on pen, whatever happens. Speak on the goal, Chris, but I think it's more important we speak about Salah at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, obviously the shot comes at him. He doesn't have a lot of time. He does whatever he can to get the shot off. It comes off the fella's arse or something. The keeper's completely wrong-footed. Yeah, I'm sure a Crystal Palace fan will feel sorry for him. I will not. But what Mo Salah has done in a Liverpool shirt, I mean, we quite rightfully talk about, don't we, Dan, about how, Alisson Becker and Virgil van Dijk were so important to this side, but predating those two, Mo Salah's the most important signing that Jurgen Klopp will ever make. And I've got no doubt in my mind that that's the case, because the amount of goals, the amount of times we've been in the shit and it's Mo Salah that's got us something, the amount of times that this lad has produced world-class performances on the level of Lionel Messi and, the great Suarez season that we've seen. This lad has done everything for Liverpool, and, he's just always available and always willing, and I don't think he's in the best form, to be honest with you, at the moment. But is that number 11 in the Premier League so far this season for Mo?
Yeah, it is frightening. Obviously goes on to 200 goals now for the club, 86 assists in there as well, in what that is 327th appearance today. Not all starts, of course, either. That's 150 in the Premier League too. We reached that landmark as well this afternoon. Frightening inevitability about him scoring goals at the minute. It's incredible what he's done, and just over 34 million pounds, because you touched on it there in terms of Klopp's best ever signings. I mean, Van Dijk and Alisson were both double that. That's immaterial really in the grand scheme of things, but that by today's market is an absolute steal. Like Roma, we've steal then, but Roma must be looking at that going, what's happened there? Like, how has that just happened? Because no one expected, no one could have predicted. I don't think Jurgen Klopp himself could have predicted the fact that he would come into this side. His first season was just, we've never seen anything like it, quite frankly.
Having Midas up top.
It was silly.
Everything he touched, mate.
Yeah, it was silly. It really was. And people sort of wrote him off then as being a one-season wonder, and people are working him out, and he's just quick, he's just that, he's just the other.
He's just a fucking legend and a goal scorer.
Every single one of them people wrong, hasn't he? Every single one.
And he's done that every single day, I'm sure, since he left Chelsea Football Club. Because he proved the doubters wrong at Roma. Then he comes to Liverpool, and he can only play up top in a two, and it was the partnership with Edin Dzeko and all this type of stuff, and then all of a sudden he was the main fucking man for Liverpool Football Club. He was the one season wonder. Yeah, but can he really do it in the biggest games? He's proved everyone wrong. He's won absolutely everything there is to win at Liverpool Football Club. He's carried the weight of a nation and a religion on his back at times. Throughout all of this, he's carried the weight of the world on his shoulders over the last few weeks. While his form's not been there, we know that there's some problems in that part of the world, and he's been outspoken upon, and he's got a lot of stick from some parties in that. I'm sure that might have impacted his form, but he continues to prove the doubters wrong, and he really has just been an absolute joy to watch. And the best part, as I say, is, Dan, that he's been there every week. It's ridiculous the amount of football and minutes that he's played for us.
Yeah, his fitness levels and his durability to withstand the most hectic of schedules. And not only that, like
the way people
well, I was going to say, the way he's treated as well, and the workload he has to endure in game, let alone anything else. And the way he's built, his body is built, it's obviously full of, I'm not doing a PE lesson, like fast twitch muscle fibers, and yet still, touch wood, he remains a constant for us, not just in terms of being there and being available, in terms of generally speaking his performances. I agree with you. I think he's on a little dip at the moment, but yeah, still he scores today, and as you mentioned, that's 11 Premier League goals and 6 assists so far this season.
Is he 3 behind Haaland?
3 behind Haaland now, yeah. Frightening.
And in probably his worst season.
Yes, and there's plenty more to go. We know, like we've seen Mohamed Salah go through golden patches of form, and there's probably one, if not two of them, to come yet this season, plus whatever comes thereafter. So he knows no ends of what this guy's going to achieve.
This is a guy who's been able to do this even without his mates, even without mates on the football field, Sadio Mane and Bobby Firmino.
Lines drawn there, yeah. With mates.
So I think, look, I think he's striking up a good partnership with Nunes. I think they've got quite a good understanding on the field of where they want to be. He seems to get a lot of assists for Darwin. Yeah. Diaz, obviously, he's been there a while now, but this is a front three. It's this season that's the first time, and Diaz has been in and out the side for a couple of different reasons so far. So we've had a lot of Jota over there, but he seems to be able to continue to produce numbers while the front three isn't quite the same as it was, and the midfield is certainly completely different, and that entire right hand side of the pitch, let's not forget, is a completely different beast to what it was in years past with Trent, because Trent's not there anymore. So how can you still be so impactful while everything else has changed?
You're right.
Changing around you.
It's interesting now because it's one that the sort of the criticisms labelled at him was he was a system player, and yet now he must be onto his 4th, 5th different type of system at Liverpool with different personnel, as you say, and yet still he continues to find a way to adapt and just to be at world class level throughout, and that's fascinating because it was always labelled, well, Firmino is the orchestrator, he's the one, without him Salah doesn't get his goals. Well, Firmino's not there anymore. Firmino really hasn't been there for a little while now because he had injury problems last year. He was there in spirit at times, but he wasn't there orchestrating things around him. Sadio Mane likewise, and yet still he's outlived them, he's outlasted them, and he continues to just produce. The guy is a freak of nature.
He's a monster, mate. He's a mentality monster and just a genuine monster, an absolute freak.
Long live the king, Mohamed Salah.